Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. If you're looking for PTCGO codes, including the stuff from Crown Zenith, make sure you check out the Potown store. You can get a 5% discount on your orders using that code OmniPoke. For today's video, we are going to be looking at an updated build of Lost Box with the new introductions from Crown Zenith, namely the new Zamazenta. I think this card is absolutely crazy and covers up a lot of the cracks that we used to have with Lost Box just with this one inclusion. Zamazenta has 130 base hit points and also the ability Metal Shield. As long as it has an energy attached, you take 30 less damage from attacks. This is way tankier than previous Pokemon that we've had in the deck in terms of one prizes. It's actually tankier than Snorlax, which is pretty crazy, and is really going to help out specifically against a couple big matchups. Firstly, Vikavolt has come out the woodwork recently, and it's trying to continually item lock throughout the entire game. And the Metal Shield really makes that a tough ask for the Vikavolt player, because that Metal Shield is going to make it just so difficult for them to churn through your two Zamazentas. You'll get a lot of retaliates in, even without the option of Mirage Gate. You can manually attach your way there with Zamazenta, and we have Raihan in here as well. So you're really making it much more difficult for Vikavolt to see play, but also you're improving your Lugia matchup. A lot of the tricks that Lugia has up its sleeve, like using Luminion to jump back into the deck, using Stoutland to take a 2-prize knockout, Zamazenta just doesn't allow that to happen. It's much beefier than Raikou and Rayquaza used to be, so it forces more from the Lugia player, where if they want to do the Luminion jump back into the deck play, or if they want to do the Stoutland play, they have to do it alongside boss's orders. You make them have the better hand, which is really, really important. At the same merits, Zamazenta has a really good damaging attack. For 2 metal and a colorless, you have Retaliate, which is 100 base, but if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, 120 more damage. So 220 is what we're looking at here. Very, very good number. It allows us to sprinkle things off with 6 counters, and we know that with 6 or 7 counters, especially with Zigzagoon, we can finish off other small things on the bench from our opponent. Definitely Manaphy will be something that is often going to be in play against us because we are threatening Radiant Greninja snipes, which is also very good. With the 220 into the 90-90 spreads can also be massive with the Moonlight Shuriken, because again the Mirage Gate can go with our water energies that we have here. And even into VMAX Pokemon, we threaten 330 very well with a Spit Innocently into the 220 as well. So Zamazenta really is an all-star. It's basically the entire build around. I should even mention this tankiness is annoying for the Reggie deck as well. That 160, not many things can reach. It forces things like Dragos into the active position, which is really good for you, because if you knock out their Dragos, you're knocking out their like draw engine a lot of the time as well. So yeah, Zamazenta covers a lot of the cracks, and improves your matchup into Lugia, which is, you know, one of the main decks of the game, so definitely helpful there. I think one thing we kind of lose by going away from Rayquaza specifically is that one-hit KO potential into some chunkier matchups like Goodra, like Arctura a little bit, but most notably Mew, which is why we're playing the Drapion. And I wanted to show off the nice Crown Zenith artwork. It is collector set at heart, and there is any Drapion artwork that we can get, because there's one you're already accustomed to, the Wild Style, reducing our attack cost, and the Dynamic Tail as well, very helpful. And it also keeps any random Mewtwo's at bay, because we are playing Gates and Drapion, so that's always a nice peace of mind thing that you have available to you. So yeah, it means that we no longer need the Raikou quite as much, because we're very happy having Zamazenta front and center. We have the sniping potential from Radiant Greninja, similar to how Kyogre threatens the Lugia players. Sometimes they will have Manaphy down, sometimes they won't. We can always Sableye mop up the Manaphys, but we also have the very strong play of going Greninja 90-90 onto 2 Archeops, then Lost Mine the 2 Archeops as well. So we have that avenue that we have from the Kyogre deck, and we have just very good beat stick potential from a Zamazenta, which is just exactly what we're really looking for. It allows us to play a very clean energy count, actually, where we get to weave captures back in the deck, just improving your overall like good hands in the opening stages, which is sometimes a worry with the Rayquaza Raikou list. And we get to play 4 metal, obviously for the Zamazenta. We have the 3 water for the Greninja and the 2 psychic for the Sableye. Of course, we'll be pulling out waters and psychics alongside our metal energy when we're loading up the Zama, and similarly metal and psychic when we're loading up the Greninja. And we can use the likes of Raihan, the likes of our Training Court, and our turn attachment to help us get there. the whole time. So we are playing 12 energy, very healthy number to just start Greninja, tossing these into the discard pile, knowing that we can recover them in various ways. We also have a double Ordinary Rod in here for some recycle, which is really nice. We have the Hisuian Heavy, good for our one-offs, of course, but also in matchups where there are, for example, Lost Cities, or if we need two in a matchup where like Sableye is going to take the wheel, or Zamazenta's taking the wheel. I'm so used to saying Zacian because Zama's always playing second fiddle, but yeah, that's where Hisuian Heavy can really come in clutch. So outside of that, it's the typical stuff you'll see in a Lost Box. We have the VIPs, the gates, tons of switch outs with the switch carts and the ropes, Rod for recycle, quick ball and capture, helping us get additional basics throughout the game, especially helpful because there is a colorless attack cost in the Zamazenta. Even if you don't have a Zama in play, you can do like an Ordinary Rod play, capture, then Raihan plus gate to still get to a retaliate all in a turn. So it's a bit less taxing than a Rayquaza, which sometimes has to wait around to get like the full 5 energy combo to spring 400 on someone. We're not quite as flashy, but I'm hoping that we still get the job done, and most importantly, we get the job done more frequently. It happens just more often, and we have a steadier flow of tempo throughout the game, where I've recently just come back from playing in the Liverpool Regional Championships, where I actually played Raikou Ray, and it did feel rags and riches at times, just especially based on having these different flavors of energy all around, you know, the discard pile, your prize cards, the deck and whatnot. You can just get railroaded a little bit by some bad prizing, or just getting hit by Marnie or Judge at the wrong time. You can be twiddling thumbs for a little bit, and I'm hoping that this build is a lot more fluid, a lot more reasonable throughout the game, and just has generally good turns more often, with a slightly increased outs of like switch cards, a slightly increased outs of ways into basic Pokemon, that sort of thing. I'm hoping that we're just a drawing better build of Raikou Ray. A little bit less glamorous, like I say, but Zamazenta has really impressed me so far. And we're up against a Fusion Strike build, so the Drapion is going to be very strong. We also top deck a VIP pass, so we are going to be popping, which is looking pretty good. Let's have a look at our prizes. We do have access to both Zamas. They are still handy because, of course, we can only take 3 prizes with the Drapion most of the time, and then it's going to get knocked out with a Lost City, I would imagine. It's really important that we have double Stadium in the deck as well, so that we can bounce Path, so that we can not get fully disrupted by, you know, the old Judge Path combo that we see so very often. We have access to both Sableye because one's in hand, looking pretty good. 3, 4 gates, which is fine. Both rods all looking fine. We do have our boss. So we've prized a Colress and a Raihan. A little bit dicey, but you can live with that. Let's proactively get Greninja, because it means that getting energy from the Flower Selects then seems very good. I think I like ballooning, because we could easily be up against a fusion energy build that could sparkle and try and take a knockout straight away. Is it more popular than Judge Mew? Probably less popular, I would imagine. So I think I'm going to try and keep the Air Ballooned one in the active position. So let's just rope proactively. Do this. I think the Zamazenta is more valuable than the Cram. Overall, not too much help there though. No access to our 12 energies, which is a bit of a shame. I could always hold the Air Balloon, but I am expecting hand disruption from them more often than not. It would feel very bad if both my balloons are rendered useless immediately, so maybe I just take the small L here and simply... I might even bench a Sableye just for trying to put them off a hand disruption and just a pass. We're holding Court Drapion, which could just be massive. Let's see what kind of build they are, I guess, first of all. We are quite limited in our attacking threats. We have exactly Cram, Sable, Zama. So maybe even weaving a Snorlax into this deck could be pretty reasonable. It would give us higher sort of tempo damage. But even then, we'd still require like to be in gate range, which isn't always the easiest thing, so... Still finding out that optimal 60, of course, but I'm pretty happy with a pretty straightforward list so far. So seeing Vacuum and Path means we're most likely up against a Judge build. So possibly would have been better to slam the Air Balloon. They are going to proactively put down Lost City, which is probably good for us, because we can bounce it early with a Court and not quite have that headache straight away. Going to see a quick ball from them as they continue to churn through the deck. They've used their first Genesect, but I imagine more could be coming down this turn quite happily. They do have Oricorio, doesn't really change too much math with at least Drapion. They're going to go Genesect number 3. They do need to find another Mew, otherwise I will just Drapion KO. Alright, there's another Mew. Seems good. 2 more cards with Genesect. Do they have a Hand Disruption supporter from the off here? Or are they just going to retreat and pass? Retreat and pass seems like the play. Alright. Colress is a solid top deck. Let's see what Colress brings. These are all cards that I don't necessarily need too badly. We like these. I guess it's just these. Didn't prize our big attackers, so I don't need the Hisuian. Seems pretty solid, but we can start dancing with our Comfeys. I've got to take the Cram here because I want to spit innocently if nothing else this turn. Happily play our Nets. Obviously VIP's going here. So the Cram hit for 90 isn't ideal when there's still the Oricorio in play, but I could try and go like the 90 hit, sprinkle this Oricorio later, then I can be in range of another sprinkle, so it's not the worst. Still. I'd much prefer the 110 hit, right, because then the Greninja could finish it off, but it's not going to pan out like that. I'm just thinking how bad it is if I do rope and they bring up a Mew and just leap it away. I think I'm happiest hitting into the Genesect, even though they did retreat into it for me. So we are going to do this. I think, as much as I'd like to get extra hits in with Cram, and I don't want to get things Lost Citied, I think it's actually best for me to still hold Training Court, because I am wanting to unlock Drapion as quickly as possible. I'm still expecting this hand to go, but I think it's the right move to keep the Lost City. It's a little bit scary, but we'll see how he wants to play. Alright, so we see the Switch Cart. That's why they proactively went into the Genesect, I suppose. And we will see a Quick Ball now. Get rid of Horn. It's going to continue to thin. Alright, they're going to cross-switch to Zamazenta to try and make the most of the Lost City, by the looks of things. This is kind of the good thing about the Lost City, right? I've baited them to keep the Lost City in play instead of a path, so I can just Drapion KO. Do see the Judge, but of course we have Capture Energy as well as Quick Ball outs here, so we have a good amount of outs to get back into Drapion here. And there we go, Capture straight away. Forest Seal Stone coming in. 3 more cards from Genesect. And they are going to zone our Zamazenta, so we have to be a little bit careful. But our map should be pretty well lit here for us. We can take the Mew knockout, we can take the Oricorio knockout with Sableye. And I can either then look to still get a Gust KO or use a Zamazenta pretty happily. So we're going to start with Greninja. Then let's start flower selecting. Do I actually want to just pull the Drapion out of deck to save? Like, it gets me closer to actually, if I capture the Greninja, it gives me Raihan outs. Right. Well, currently not, but if I get another water in there, it will. Okay, let's just capture the Drapion. And let's start selecting. Doing well throwing these away. This is at 130, right? Yeah, so Zig's still definitely helpful to us. Five, six, seven, eight. I'm just thinking I could thin more energy if I have gates played here, but nets are just so strong for cycle. I am going to Training Court to force them to bounce. And find that other Lost City. I think I like the metal in the discard pile. How many tablets have they been through? They've played 2, so there's an argument for me to hit my Cram here. Actually, I should hit my Greninja, right? Because it's still out of range of an Oricorio. This forces them to still find a power tablet as well. It's like, it's a tiny thing, but it's going to try and make life difficult for them. So they need to recycle Lost City and take KO here. And they probably want to look to Roxanne. We've got to 9 in the zone quite quickly, so I can Flower Select to 10, and then I'm just looking for Psych Energy to Lost Mine the Oricorio quite happily. So I do have a 2-turn map, right, if I can just Lost Mine twice. They do have the Power Tablet, incidentally. And they're going to kick on with Genesect. I imagine this is the turn they pop their tablet, unless their Crams are flipping lots of heads. But they absolutely have to do a Drapion, right? There's no way they can do anything else. Parasol is actually pretty big. It means I probably need to weave in some ropes. They do find the other Lost City. So Drapion's going away. It's a Judge, not a Roxanne. That's kind of good for us. It's a +2 from what we expected. So we do have the Psych Energy, but I need to find Rope now because of the Parasol. Let's draw 2. We have a lot of draw here. I think I like the option to Raihan over Colress here, so I'll Flower Select first a couple times. Alright, Rope is very good. Now I can Colress. So we definitely keep these. I think it's just all of these. What a crazy 5 cards that was. I think I'd go Sableye, and then I also just gate this turn. Just play it out of hand. Because even though it lets them have another chance of Gust KO, they'll be down 2 Lost Cities then. We'll hold the Switch Cart and just play Rope. Do I like more energy in the deck? Well, I'm putting one to hand, but I don't actually like it in my hand, right? Because their stadium mounts from now on is probably just Path. Although they're down 2 Path, 2 City, but they're probably playing 3, right? So I think we just go here. And we're going Lost Mine. So it's 9. We definitely go 10 here. I guess I play more here in case they Silene. They could Silene Switch Cart, I suppose. So we're playing around that as best we can, so I can Zig Ping Lost Mine it again. Because he cross switches, so they're going to continue to deal with Zamazenta, which is reasonable. And then we get Roxanne. Pretty good Roxanne for us. Can they bounce the stadium is the next question. No. So we get some extra draws here. Boss's game, so I'm going to Comfey and Greninja before I do anything else. Before I commit to this Colress. Sure. Do want to give him the info that I have metal in hand. It's not much difference, but... Alright, there's boss. So I can just boss for game. Pretty routine. Like I said, we are playing Drapion, so it's going to make it a lot easier. Have to be a little bit careful of their lost cities the whole time, but you know what we're up to at this point. We've all tested against Mew to know what's up. The Parasols are scary, though, and also Pika Parasol could be a thing, because people are trying Eternatus right now. Radiant Eternatus. So there is some justification to adding in a Lost Vacuum. But I'm pretty happy with where the list is at right now. Playing a simple 60 as always. Keep it simple, keep it tight. Alright, let's go into another game. And our opponent gets to start here. But we have a nutty hand. We have double Comfey VIP opener. Well, that is nuts. And looks like we're in a mirror of sorts. So typically in mirror, Manaphy is going to be big. Rod and captures are going to be good to keep track of. Zamazentas are very annoying in the mirror. Like, it forces... Like, if they're not a... Zama mirror, they may struggle to knock us out, like, straight back, so... Actually a Pokestop, which is intriguing to me. Maybe it means it's a Kyogre build. Looking like a Kyogre build right now. We have too many Pokemon, that's our problem. Right, that's VIP. Alright, looking very good. We have all of our important pokes. Happy with that. We have 3 ropes, which I'm definitely going to try and look for this turn. Have all 4 nets. We have all 6 supporters. We've prized a water and a metal. But not too bad, all things considered. Let's draw a couple. Alright, nice. I can Colress. Rope is huge. Honestly, we don't need many gates this matchup. Like, they're very good for Greninja and Zama, but I think 3 should be plenty, and I can't get rid of 2 metals, right? We prized 1. So we're forced into this line, unless I wanted to get rid of a switch out, which I really don't. Psych Energy seems more important than VIP, honestly, because I just have all the Comfeys in hand. I could get Manaphy developed, I suppose. Or Guru, perhaps, as a pivot option. I'm pretty sure Training Court's going to be winning the Stadium War, because they typically just play 1 Pokestop, so I can get away with just 1 Psychic, I think. Oh, Manaphy's actually prized, so okay, that's good info for me. Let's just take this guy. Let's do this. Let's net. We've got a Rope Spit innocently to finish our turn. Let's keep the energy around. Let's Rope. I can just pay retreat this Comfey this turn. I'm pretty certain I don't want to Pokestop because I just, like, all my supporters seem really valuable. I have a horrible choice here of what to get rid of. Like, it probably has to be Manaphy, but it really opens the floodgates for me. Especially because he knows I'm already at 4, so he's like, he's expecting the Cram to just be my next action here, but... That's very strong. It means I get to develop my own Manaphy now as well. Which is pretty massive. Let's see one more card. Collect metal in the discard pile. Protect against him going crazy with Comfeys. And take our first knockout. Very strong start from us. We're threatening gates. And they're still at 2 or 1 in the loss zone. 2 in a moment. So their best turn is probably a Spit Innocently straight back. If they can make it that far. I think I'm ahead. I don't need to play fancy here. I have second Comfey in hand, so it's not really hurting me too much, not hurting my push. See if they can piece together a, firstly a KO, but secondly, oh boy, okay. Secondly, I was going to say protection for their Manaphy, But that doesn't seem to be coming together either. Switch Cart's pretty big for us. Because that's going to get us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're very close to being able to gate double KO here. That lets us gate double KO, right? Because I can rope, then cart back in. 5, 6. And yeah, I can go rod, gate, double KO. I should have debated actually not discarding a water. I should have probably discarded a metal knowing I could guru back in a water, then gate that way, because now I'm spending a rod pretty proactively, which is scary. This is also my 3rd gate out of 4, which is also a little bit scary, but I think I'm just pole vaulting ahead in tempo here. Let's play this rope. Honestly, I don't need 2 Zamas. I'm going to be Sableyeing a lot. So now I have to play the rod. Put him in, get him back out. I'm going to put Switch Cart on top. Play a Switch Cart. Yeah, they're just toast. They know that 3 prizes is too big of a hurdle to beat at that point. Like, we'd be on an interesting resource tightrope there. But I'm pretty sure I can just Sableye the majority of the game away there. But it's whether if they played something big like Lax and I had to find my my Zama plus Gates plus all this other stuff, but we just drew better than them, let's be honest. Let's be quite frank. We just drew better than them. Alright, one more game, I think. What time are we on? Yeah, looking good for one more game. Would I like to go first? Gee whiz. Yes, I would. Alright, not a bad opener again. Whenever you're starting Comfey, you're very happy. Flying P. Well, shucks. I'm going to have to use all these ropes. We will leave it there. Not bad though, a couple things in the zone early. Always a nice start. We are a little bit light on tech for Pika Parasol. We are playing ropes, we are playing boss. So if I can get a proactive hit on it with Cram, I'm feeling very good, actually. Because I can save the rope boss for a retaliate for 220. It's just, we're against the clock a little bit. So Aurora Energy makes me think it's like Lugia Flying Peak. Which should be interesting. It means they put a lot of prizes on the board, so there are ways I can completely ignore the Flying Peak as well. There's a fish, which makes me think even more that it's a Lugia build. See a Luminous Sign. Researching away the hand by the looks of things. Capture for Lugia. Yep. Very early Parasol. That's good for them. They can get rid of at least Anarcheops here. Very strong hand. Very strong opener from our opponent. The early Pika Para. Certainly a scary one. They're probably going to retreat into Luminion as well this turn. So it can be the sponge that they can yeet back into the deck. But we are holding the ropes, so that's at least something. They'd probably just give me Lugia to hit. Let's be honest. Yep. Yep. Here. Start by drawing 2. That's a nice top deck. Alright, that's very good. They're definitely a Marnie deck. Let's take the Guru. I'm not been able to check my deck yet, so this is a risky zone of water, but what can you do? Let's play the rope. We get to see 3 more cards with selecting Oranguru. He gives me Lugia here every time, right? Unless he's supremely confident that the Pika is doing bits anyway. Oh, wow. That's very good for us, actually. I suppose he's afraid that I could get to 7 and, like, Raikou KO. I think that's what they're probably afraid of from this spot. I probably need to take the Ordinary Rod here. So we're going to do this. Going to do this. 5. We're going to Wisdom the energy to the top. And we're just going to get some damage in. Very relevant damage, to be fair. It now lets us... It's a big combo, but we need to rope, boss, Zama, gate, KO. Big combo, but I'm a believer. Alright, they immediately go into the fish. For a bird, keep it into the Lugia. Back into the Pikachu. How strange. What sort of hand do they have to be sat on to do that? Okay. Are they just trying to put as much balloon pressure on as early as possible? Because that's reasonable. I mean, just one Archeops is scary, though. Oh, they're going just one Archeops. They're saying, Pikachu, take the wheel. Alright. the big balloon comes in. There's no guarantees I want to play this rope next turn, so let's start with the Greninja draw. Alright, we have a very easy flower selecting. Right, 2, 4, 5, 6. I'm pretty sure we're going for our 7th here with Comfey. Colress is obviously exceptional here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Water there, water here. So I don't want to gate too proactively. But I suppose a Zamazenta with a rope knocking out either Fish or Archeops is really good, and putting damage on Lugia is also pretty good. It's just that I'd have to reload the Zamazenta for when I have boss. So I think I don't make any choice and see what the Colress brings. Alright, but obviously taking this. I think I just take these. That seems very reasonable. So now I have both Zams. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do I want to just Zam and knock something out here? Or just put a chunk into Lugia? I don't think it's bad. Keeping water in the deck could have some value. So let's do it like this. Let's play rope. Going Lugia. Go attach. I'm also going to bench the other Zam here, I think. Although I might be Raihan. Oh yeah, that's fine. I can still Raihan Sableye next turn. Yeah, let's just get our big chunk of damage in. Because they are still, at the end of the day, trying to prize race us. They're not just, like, lock with Pika. They're actually trying to, like, out-tempo us here. But we just have to be patient around this Pikachu, right? We can deal with it. And we only have to deal with one, just based on how our prizes lie. So we just have to be a little bit chill here. They're probably going to hand disrupt us, yeah. They're going to vacuum away a Air Balloon, which is a little bit annoying. They're going to load up at least enough so Lugia can retreat. And they're going to money. They don't want us to have a big combination of cards. Our rope is now at the bottom of the deck. And it's going to be a balloon, which does do enough. Okay. So I'd quite like to Greninja this turn. Our only energy in deck is one water though. Just a little bit awkward. Let's start with this. Into this. some easy fodder. I think I like getting water energy back to hand. Actually, I probably want metal back to hand, so I'm going to capture the Zama. Is that right? Capture Zam, get Sableye out just on the board. It's not that great. How many boss have they been through? They've been through 1. And both fish are in play. I don't mind it. Trying to cycle to rope boss, obviously. There's an argument to me to not use capture here, just in case I select into rope and boss, which would be very sad. But hey ho. Alright, so we're holding on to a piece. Happy with that. Not going to get too crazy with anything else because I could easily just get hand disrupted again, so I think we're just passing here. We are giving them yet another turn, which is scary, but what else can I really do? Pretty scared of both Marnie and Boss here. But we have to take our risks. Serena is a great outcome for us. And just the balloon. Okay. So still need a lot here. I'm going to put a Colress on top because I don't think we really want to be playing those much more. The Rod is certainly helpful. Capture can be my Greninja card, so they can Training Court more effectively. So I can... I can't Greninja, right, because I've prized a water. I could Raihan Court. I think I just right. Oh no, I can't do that either. A little bit stumped here as of what to play. I can still win in enough turns, right? Oh, I did have the water, so I can take prizes this turn. It's just my last gate is the issue. But I can Raihan Court the Zamazenta, I suppose, and I'll be taking prizes. Okay, so that's fine. So I can, this turn go Rod both, grab back Zam, grab back Water Metal, go Water Metal, turn attach, cart. I think I just take the 3, right? I go Zignet, take the 3. I suppose he has no healing anyway. So I should do this. Do I like 3 prizes? I do like having the extra resource in hand, because there are gates in there. So I should probably just access my gates. Then benching that Yveltal has really helped us. Alright, gate is massive from prizes. The Raiku's not super scary here. He can get rid of Comfey and Greninja, but I can still access all cards in my deck. Oh, they failed the... Okay. They failed the Primal Turbo anyway. Then they attach speed for turn. Right. And we just balloon, so that's game. I just have to do it correctly. Did it, diddle it. I have to do this. I have to rod. Energy. Gate the energy. Attach the energy. Play the rope. And play the boss. And retaliate. Because a Pokemon was indeed knocked out last turn. Alright. Pretty sketchy. I think I probably took a bit of a risk by taking the Greninja prizes because of 2 gates in the prizes, but I don't know what else I can do there with only 2 gates available to me. I think I have to take my hedge there, right? And I also misplayed by forgetting that there was a water still available in deck. So I had to draw it to realize I had it. But yeah, we seem to be doing pretty well with the deck. Zamazenta definitely chipping in, Greninja being very strong as always, as an attacking threat as well as a draw card throughout the entire game. I honestly think Zamazenta is completely crazy as a card. I think it's just like super overstated for a 1-prize Pokemon, so I'm certain it's going to be a Lost Box in the mix. I'll probably be doing more Lost Box videos in Crown Zenith, because we also have the Sky Seal Stone based builds that can take advantage of some other V Pokemon. Drapion's going to be in there, probably Raikou, maybe even Zapdos in there as well, because that is another one of the best cards from the set. So, and Lost Box is one of the best users of Sky Seal Stone because you can just Raihan cherry pick the card when you need to power up all sorts of attackers. So let me know your thoughts on Lost Box in general. What else do you think goes into the deck with Crown Zenith? And where do you think Lost Box sits now? Is it better than Lugia? Question mark. I'll hear it all down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video tomorrow. Cheers.